focus on your posture. Your legs are folded, your hips are opened, your spine is straight, head in upright, both palms joined together, and your body is breathing softly, gently. Now visualize the divine as omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent essence. That is micro, that is macro, that is the minutest of the existence, and that is the greatest of the existence. The divine is dwelling everywhere. That is only subject to experience, subject to realization. So, holistic yoga, integral yoga. In our culture, there are different names of divine. Om is one of the names of the divine. With that awareness, that when we chant Om, we are reminding ourselves of the omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent divine. And we'll try to connect with that, with this chanting also. So we'll be inhaling deeply and we'll chant Om 3 times with me. Inhale. Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Let us bow down to our Guru, all the Gurus of the tradition and the science of this holistic health, spirituality. Excellent. So, Nadia, this is your first session with us, and we have joined in chakra healing course 300 hours and also meditation course 300 hours, right? Yes. And after you are initiated into this course, initiation means traditionally when we connect with that vidya means the knowledge, right? Then this is called commencement or initiation in English, and in our language we call it diksha. Diksha means commencement or beginning, starting. And when we start this journey, then we essentially and definitely we reach the goal if we do not stay on the way. So what happens? We begin the journey, and on the way, sometimes if some spots are very beautiful, we want to spend a lot of time over there, and we forget sometimes also where we have to reach. In that way, that journey becomes very longer, right? And in our culture, we call it rebirth. We are reborn again and again, again and again, unless and until we reach the goal. And the goal is liberation. Liberation in English, and in Sanskrit, this is called moksha. Moksha, yeah, or kaivalya. So all these terms you will see in your manual book also. Yeah, that will be written, all these terms. But some new terms may be new for you because uh, sometimes we have to use the Sanskrit words only because there are some English words which do not do justice for that word. Sometimes, like nirvana. Nirvana is one word, right? But what is the English word of nirvana? Some call it nothingness, some call it emptiness, some call it differently. But I think there is no word for nirvana. So similarly, samadhi. Samadhi. What is samadhi? So to explain samadhi, you will have to use many words to explain that samadhi. Similarly, yoga. Yoga is union. Yoga is to become one. Yoga is to non-dualism. Yoga is to enter into nirvana, to become liberated. There are different words of yoga. But we'll try to use as much as possible. We can use the translations, right? In the journey of chakra healing and meditation, you will find that this is inner journey, and we don't have to do anything with our co-practitioners. Means you have to focus on yourself. I have to focus on myself. That only will help me, right? And on every Sunday, we offer a program that is called Light and Shadow Work. Light and Shadow Works. There we work on our both aspects, darkness and the light, both aspects. But our true nature is light. Our true nature is light. Our true nature is peace. Our true nature is joy, bliss. But this true nature is sometimes covered, defiled, or confused, you know, by different things. And therefore, there is darkness, right? This is like there is no darkness in the sun. No darkness. Sun doesn't know what is darkness, right? Darkness is when there is no sun, when there is no sunlight, that is darkness. Similarly, every soul, we have soul, every soul is luminous by its nature. But that soul is covered, defiled by our, three things that defiles, these three things defile the soul, the light of soul. And when we remove these defilements, then the light shine forth. Like when the sun is covered by the clouds, dark clouds, then there is darkness, even in the daytime also, right? This looks like this is evening light. And when the dark cloud changes from darkness to the, lightness, then the sunlight starts coming on the sun, on the earth. But still, that is not full fledged of the sunlight. It's still covered by the white clouds. So clouds are also of two types: black, which is very dense, then white, which is like transparent clouds, right? But that is a still cloud. When the cloud is completely removed, then the light of the sun shines, right? This is a simile, this is an analogy of the soul and our lives. Every human's life, your life, my life, his life, the life of Jesus, the life of Prophet Muhammad, the life of Buddha, the life of Patanjali, the life of any enlightened one, which looks very luminous, which looks very divine, which looks full of blessings. So behind the scene, there are lots of struggles they have done it in the background, right? Like Buddha did lots of struggle. Jesus did lots of struggles. Patanjali did lots of sadhana. Shiva still meditates in the Himalayas on the mountain. He remains absorbed into deep meditation, deep samadhi. That is why he shines like sun, or sometimes he has light. Millions of suns cannot compare to the light of that divine. That is called Koti Surya Samaprabha. Koti means crores. Crore, 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 no? Millions, millions, 10 millions, or millions of suns. When they rise, then you can imagine the light and heat, right? So with light, there is one thing that is called heat also. So the original light has heat, but the borrowed light doesn't have heat. Like the moon doesn't have its own light. Moon radiates the light, which is taken from the sun. That is why when the light comes from the moon by reflection, then we feel cool and calmness. In our yoga also, we teach there are two channels. Left is moon channel and right is sun channel. There are two channels. Moon is cool and sun is hot. So outside also, moon is cool and sun is hot. So wherever there is original light, it is hot. So that is the side effects of the light. Light is very severe, light is very fierce, light is very sharp. So to contain that light, one will have to have, the stronger enough to contain that heat also. When our Kundalini wakes up, when we activate the Kundalini, then before activation Kundalini, we activate the channel through which Kundalini moves. And there are, 350,000 channels inside the pranic body, and we have to clean these channels. But Kundalini moves through all the channels, but its main channel, which is called Royal Road, is central channel. So firstly, we have to unblock it. We unblock it through different practices: asana, pranayama, bandha, mudra, kriya, etc. And this physical body, what you have, what we have, what anybody has, is not useless. This is also very meaningful. How so long this physical body has one essence that is called life force. Life force makes this body, lighter, very lighter, very malleable, very pliable, very soft, very gentle. But the moment the prana, the life force is decreased, this body starts aging, this body starts becoming stiff. And when the life force is completely gone, then this body is called dead. And you find dead body becomes very hard. Slowly, slowly, it becomes so hard like a rock. In post-mortem, when they cut the body limbs, they find very hard. They need to use very sharp blades or sharp, tools to cut. Why? Because there is no life force. When there is no life force, the channels will be blocked. They will start becoming like a wood clock. So this is life force. This is prana, which makes this body very soft, very gentle, very, very, malleable. And the more life force we have, the more flexibility, softness we have in mind and in body also. You will find the gentle people are very wise people, vice versa. Wise people become very gentle, firstly in mind and then slowly in body also. Even you become old, but if you had gentle mind in the young age, in our old age also we remain gentle. So gentleness, the noble softness, is the nature of intelligence, is the nature of understanding, is the nature of that you are very adaptable, is the sign of neuroplasticity, right? Neuroplasticity is found only in intelligent people, right? And in neuroscience, we have different things to know and to understand. And there are different systems which work in our neuro health, neuro system, like limbic system, then cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata, then brainstem. There are different parts of the brain which work. Then these work in coordination with the mind. Mind is different, and neural pathways is different. And prana, what you call kundalini energy also, or spiritual energy also, that moves through a channel that is called nadi. Like your name is Nadia, right? Nadia. So in nadi we spell nadi, nadi. We call it nadi. So when I saw your name Nadia, then we just were reminded of Nadia. Nadi. And so nadi is the channel, not the arteries or the veins of the body. No, not also the nerves. Also, we have neuropathways. That's called nerves, right? Nerves through which neurotransmitters move, and mind is different than the brain, but mind definitely is connected with the brain. So if anyone's brain health is optimum, is ideal, then the mental health also is supposed to be ideal. Both are interconnected, deeply connected. Just like the brain and the mind are connected, these two are connected. Similarly, nadis and the nerves are connected. Nerves. So we have to tone the nerves of the body. You don't have to keep the nerves or the neural pathways very stiff. You have to tone it. And how we tone? We tone it through the pranic current, pranic flow, through stretching, through asana. When you practice physical exercise, then you are working on the nerves also, nervous system also, right? Nervous system. So you have to enhance the nervous system, to enhance the nadi system. So in this course, our teacher, Kunjum will teach you about all the anatomy, how this works and how we work through this. And also our other teacher, Acharya Harish, will teach you more advanced things, And if I'll find the chance, then I'll also teach you. And we have other teacher, Dinesh, will also teach you different things. So we togetherly will teach you all these things, but we have to realize ourselves. So this journey is completely unique, is completely oneself. We don't have to take interest in him. If I'll take interest in him, then I'll not be benefited. I will take interest in me. I have to work on me. I have to firstly diagnose myself where blockages are latent in me, in which system I have blockages. We have, physical system, and this physical body is moving, is run, is lived through the internal system that is called energetic system or pranic system. There also we have to work. I have to see that in physical system we have different things, like we have muscles, we have bones. Bones are the frame for the muscles, right? So muscles are attached to the bones. And if the bones are not stronger, then all other systems will not be strong. In Ayurveda, we teach dhatuj. Dhatu means the essence, elements, essence. There are 7 dhatus, right? Whatever we eat, that is called food. And food produces the juice, and juice is transformed into blood. Blood is transformed into muscles, flesh. Flesh is transformed into bone. Bone is transformed into bone marrow. Bone marrow is transformed into semen. In men, in woman, there is, that energy. Yeah. And that energy transforms into intelligence. So you can understand intelligence. Intelligence, which is psychological thing, right? But that also is formed through our foods. What type of foods we are eating, that will form our intelligence. Yeah, that is the end product. What is the end product? Mind is the end product of food. So how food transforms into thought. That is why in yoga and Ayurveda we are very particular in food. We do not eat such foods which create negative thought. So negative food will create ultimately negative thought, negative mind, negative mental state, like stale food. If we eat stale food or toxic food or poisonous food, you know, or non-vegetarian food, so we avoid non-vegetarian food also, right? Because ultimately that also will create violent thoughts in your mind. So anything which comes through violence, even the money also, if we earn money through violence or through unjust professions, then that money, if you will buy some foods through that money, so the energy we receive through money also, right? So in energy world, we are very particular in everything, in many things. How we take the energy. Money is an energy. If we bring the money energy through wrong ways, then that will ultimately create the wrong energy in you. So you have to be very particular in everything, in works, in thoughts, in words, in everything. And here, in light and shadow work, we focus on the darkness. What are the darkness? But we are not stuck to darkness only. We have to bring the light from here, not from elsewhere, from ourselves, which is covered by the defilements. So if there is sign of darkness, we have to be just on alert that I have some blockages. And what are the signs of darkness? Anger is signs of darkness. If you have anger, if you are impulsive, if you are very reactive, if you are very stiff, if you are non-compromissive in some things which where we have to be compromissive, right? If we are not adaptable, if we are not having neuroplasticity, that means we have definitely very blockages. And what are the things which create blockages? There are three things. That's called greed, anger, and delusion. Greed. If you have greed, that means that is something which will create darkness, which is blocking the light of my true self, the light of me actually. Me, you, me, everyone is light actually by nature. But that is covered by three cloths. Greed is one cloth, one layer of cloth. Anger, you know, is another, and delusion is another. And what is the mother of all these three cloths? What produces this cloth? And that is called avidya in our language. And in English, this is called ignorance, not knowing the truth, not knowing the truth. And what is truth? That we learn from our guru, that we learn from our teacher, that we learn from the scriptures, that we learn from the, ones or one who has that light, who has that realization of the truth. What is truth? And when even we sit with such people, there is something of such people which will start triggering, which will start, stimulating those things, which will provoke. Hey, just shatter all these things, just destroy all these things. That will provoke you, and this is called company. In our language, we call satsanga. Have you heard this word? Satsang. Satsanga. 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 No. Well, so satsang is to be with truth. Sat means truth. Sang, to be. When we spend time with the truth, or when we spend time with the people who live in the truth, that is called satsang. And that gives so much, power, that gives so much energy, that gives so much invisible stuff, invisible particles, invisible energies, which help us to remove all these, uh, what you call the children of darkness, children of ignorance, children of not knowing the truth, that will remove and that will also trigger your own light. So this is called, burning a lamp from the lamp, you know, burning a lamp from the lamp. In old days, there was no electricity, there was only the lamp, which was burning with oil, right? We'll put oil and then something, and then that was that was the oil which was producing the light, and that was transformation of the oil into the light, right? This is called fuel. Fuel. Without fuel, you don't have light. So where is fuel? Fuel is our action. Fuel is our daily practices. Fuel is our 24 by 7, switching on of the life force. And life force, we have to activate it through different practices. Pranayama, food, then air, then sunlight. All these 5 elements of the nature supply the supports to keep that life force act. But there is one thing that is called longevity. Longevity means lifespan. Everyone has expiry date, right? Everyone. Everyone has expiry date. Our body has also expiry date. This will expire one day. But nobody knows what is the expiry date of the body. Similarly, there is expiry date of the sun, expiry date of the moon, expiry date of the earth also. But so long there is life force, we have to utilize this to give the light to others. Because everything in the nature exists not for itself, but for others. Sunlight gives the light to others. Like air gives life to others. Water gives life to others. Earth supports to billions of people. At present, what is the population of the world? 8 billions or 8.5 billions, right? Population, yeah. Whatever. So all the inhabitants of the earth, and earth is living for them. And people are exploiting earth. But earth planet is still giving life. But one day when this will be exhausted, then it will automatically burst out, it will disappear. So also this body. We are using this body and this body's limbs like eyes. We are using eyes. But if we'll be overusing eyes, if we'll not take care of eyes, then slowly eye will reduce its energy, strength, and this will exhaust its force. Similarly, ears, similarly, tongue, similarly, the whole body, similarly, the heart, similarly, the lungs, similarly, kidneys, liver, all the parts of the body have life. If we'll be overusing, if we'll be burdening, if we'll be not taking care of them, then what will happen? It will say goodbye even in early age also. Some people die at 50s, some people die at 60s, at 70s, some people die even in 100 hours, right? 90s, 100 hours. Why? Because they took care of their whole body. Similarly, we have to take care of all the systems through many things, not only one thing. Exercise is one thing. Diet is first thing. Diet, exercise, relaxation, and the environment where we are living. So all these things togetherly form the healthy lifestyle or the longevity or the lifespan. Through yoga practice, which yoga? Not this typical yoga, but through traditional yoga, through holistic yoga, we can live even 200 years also, 500 years also. Like I have told by my master that my master's master is 500 years old, even more than 500 years old, who is living in the Himalayas. I have not met him, but he is still alive in the Himalayas. Yeah. We have seen my master's photo outside, and his master is so long. Yeah. His master is still alive. He's more than 500 years old. And you'll find some yogis in the Himalayas who have 2,000 years age, 5,000 years. and they are still alive, and they have powers to transform their bodies. Means they can come in front of you with this physical body, then they can disappear. There are different powers, So all these powers come from yoga. That is different type of yoga, right? How? Through yoga. What type of yoga? That is called spiritual yoga. Spiritual yoga or advanced yoga or what you call anuttar yoga, different terms, different words. But this is yoga only, right? But this starts with the normal lifestyle. We have to be very particular in diet. We have to be very particular in exercise. We have to be very particular in rest also. You have to be very particular in what type of people you are keeping around you, whether they are giving stress to you. If they will keep stressing you out, you'll not live longer, for sure. So that also, if you have healthy food, healthy atmosphere, healthy things, but if you don't have healthy people around you, that also will not help. That is why company, to live in that community, to live in that atmosphere also matters. And in our scriptures that is mentioned that in the Himalayas, there are some places. I think you have heard about Bayul. Have you heard about Bayul? Beyul? Bayul? No? Hmm. Bayul is a place in Tibet. Yeah, in the Himalayan mountain, there are many yogis, and they all are thousands years old yogis. And there are different areas in Himalaya. There are different types of yogis, different groups of yogis who are living since many long time. What I mean is that they are living in that community. If they will come to live in this world, they will not live long, for sure. They will die. In our philosophy, there is a concept of demigods. Demigods. Demigods means celestial beings. And there are different types of celestial beings. Some celestial beings, there are different species also, species, different species. So one species of gods, demigods, they have lives of 500 years of their lives. And 500 years of their life is the millions of years of human lives. Millions of years. So their one day is thousands of years of earth. There one day. You can imagine. Which look very unbelievable. But these look unbelievable, but that's true. They have also long life in terms of human lives. But there they have short lives. But they also want to become human beings. Why? To reach the enlightenment. Okay. So now we'll finish this here only because we have to practice also. In today's practice, we will focus on one thing that is called uh, work, light and shadow work. And I will be guiding you and we will be practicing this. You will just follow the instructions silently without speaking any words and very intelligently, very brilliantly, very instrumentally, and very obediently so that you will experience something. Okay? Yes. So, assume a posture with crossed legs and you can keep your both hands in a mudra. This is called mudra, dhyana mudra. So, this mudra. Uh, since this is the night, so we'll keep right hand on the top and left hand on the bottom. And we'll join these two thumbs here. Placed in the lap, spine straight, eyes closed. Yes. Now focus on the breath to develop the concentration. We are focusing on the breath. The mind's nature is to jump. That also creates blockages. Jumping nature of the mind creates negativity, creates blockages, creates defilements, clots on the soul. Keep your mind here. The mind which lives in the present has so much light. The mind which keeps moving in past or future loses its light. Let us realize the light of the mind, the consciousness. The consciousness and mind itself is the soul, actually. What is called soul, which is luminous, is actually the highest form of the mind, the consciousness. The focused mind is very luminous mind. Here in this practice of light, if you focus on the light, darkness automatically will be gone. You have to just invite the light of the mind. View your mind, something which is very powerful but invisible. Which has immense capacity. Mind, when focused, when concentrated, this creates miracles. In today's session, we'll focus on the 9 types of natures of the mind. First is called samahit. Samahit means focus, focused mind. In today's session, let us develop this mental focus, means the concentration. Samahit. In yoga, we call it samahit. And the breathings, when you focus on the breath, breath works like an anchor to keep the mind focused. Samahit chitta. I'm cultivating this concentration. I'm cultivating this focus by the help of breath. Second, nature of the mind. If we cultivate, we will realize the light of my own mind is parishuddha chitta. First was samahit chitta. Second is parishuddha chitta. Parishuddha means pure mind, purity of mind. Let us cultivate the purity of mind. Purity of mind is that when you have stillness, when we don't have defilements, pure, not impure, not polluted. Again, what pollutes the mind are greed, anger, and delusion. Angry mind is impure mind. Greedy mind is impure mind. Delusive mind is impure mind. So let me overcome greed, anger, and delusion to cultivate purity of mind, to realize the light of mind, which is me, which is mine, not of others. Because every mind has all these natures. Third nature of mind is called Paryodat Chitta. Paryodat Chitta is white Chitta, white mind, means luminous mind. Brilliant mind means the brilliance of light we have to cultivate, and we have to be on guard. What creates the dullness in my mind, we have to be careful of. Again, these are the three elements: greed, anger, and delusion, which create the defilements. Lesser these three elements, higher the light of mind will reflect in your thoughts, words, and deeds. That is the third nature. Fourth quality of mind is Anangan Chitta. Anangan Chitta. Angan is also a disqualification of the mind. Angan is the moving mind, wavering mind is called Angan mind, which we have to overcome, which we have to release. Unblemished mind. We have to release the blemishes. To see what are the blemishes in my mind. A spotless mind. I have to make my mind spotless. I have to make my chitta Anangan Chitta. Anangan, a spotless, unblemished mind. And to cultivate all these qualities of mind, your breathings will help. Meditation helps. And the fifth quality of mind we have to cultivate to realize the light of my mind is Bigat Upklesha. Upklesh means subtle impurities. What yoga calls it Abhinivesh, the same thing is called Upkilesh. Like envy, like enviness, fear, phobia, sometimes we have invisible fears, phobias, which keep chasing us in dreams, in unconscious state, whenever we have time to think, whenever we are in leisure, that fear, that stress comes on the surface. Why? Because we have upkleshas. Bigat upklesha means freed from the subtle impurities, subtle defilements, subtle fears, subtle angers, subtle envy, subtle ego. Sometimes we have ego, but they are silent in us. Sometimes we have attachment, which are silent, abhinivesh or upkleshas. And we have to spot them, we have to overcome them whenever they come on the surface. We have to overcome non-violently, intelligently, brilliantly, by the guidance of our masters, our gurus. Now let us move to the sixth quality which we have to develop in our chitta or the mind is mrudu chit, mrudu bhut chit. Mridu means gentle. We have to keep our mind gentle, very soft. Whenever you see the stiffness in the mind, immediately be active and make it soft. Never keep your mind stiff. Mridu bhut chitta we have to cultivate is the sixth quality of the mind. Mridu bhut chitta. So today in this session, I am working to cultivate the softness of mind, the neuroplasticity of the brain, and the softness of the mind. When we switch off the limbic system or the part which is called amygdala, our neuroplasticity develops. When we activate the prefrontal cortex, PFC, neuroplasticity will develop. So you see how this will be developed by practicing softness, mrudu chitta, which is the sixth quality of my mind. I'll develop more. The seventh quality is called kammaniya chitta, means workable, functional mind. Kammaniya or karmaniya. We have to keep the mind which functions. Kammaniya. When we are in confusion, when we are in darkness, when we are in sickness, mind doesn't work. When we are in stress, fear, mind doesn't work. Even an intelligent person also becomes blank in such situations, in some shocking situations, some traumatic situations, mind doesn't work. That is called akammaniya chitta. So in all the situations, we have to keep the mind functional. Even in the stunning, shocking situations also, we have to keep the mind workable, functional. And this happens when we train our subconscious mind by choosing the challenges. When we live in the challenges, when we put our mind, ourselves into challenging situations, this practice will activate this skill of mind. It's called Kamaniya Chitta. Therefore, yogis live in solitude. Yogis live with limited facilities, in hardships, and living in hardship voluntarily, that develops this functional mind, Kamaniya Chitta. Next is Sthiti Chitta. Sthit Chitta. Sthit means still mind. We have to develop. If we'll develop this eighth quality, Sthiti Chitta, which comes with the fourth meditation, Chaturtha Jhana. When we enter into third meditation, we have a glimpse of that stillness. When we enter into the fourth level of meditation, then we'll realize this called Sthiti Chitta. Sthiti Chitta is still mind. When a bodhisattva reaches the seventh stage, then they realize this chitta, this mind. And when they enter into the eighth stage of bodhisattvahood, they realize in full fledged of Sthiti Chitta. Achal Bhumi. Achal is the eighth stage. And ninth quality of mind which we have to cultivate. Today we are being introduced about of, is called Ananje Chitta. Ananja Chitta. Ananj Prapta Chitta. Ananj Bhakti Chitta. Ananj Prapta Chitta. Ananj Chitta is unperturbed mind. When your mind becomes like thunderbolt, called Vajra Chitta also in Tantra. In Tantra, this is called Vajra Chitta. And that is why there is a stream of Buddhism is called Vajrayana Buddhism. Like Milarepa is a very famous yogi of Vajrayana. In Tantrayana, this is also called Tantrayana. They practice the cultivation of Vajra Chitta. This is the same. Ninth Chitta is called Ananja Chitta, Prapta Chitta. Nothing perturbs you, nothing moves you. No thought, no emotion. And this is called Achal Chitta. In Bodhisattvahood, that is eighth Bhumi. Achal, immovable. Nothing moves you like the mighty Himalayas, a mighty mountain which is not moved by wind, which is not moved by any hurricane, any tempest, any storm, that is, remains still. Mountain mind. Mountain mind is called Ananj Prapta Chitta, ninth quality. Nothing frightens you. Neither any loss nor any type of fear. Even the death also doesn't perturb you. You remain unperturbed. Vajra, immovable. When we cultivate this, then we become sadhu. To become a sadhu is not easy. Just wearing a cloth is not sadhu, become sadhu. Just growing the mustache and beards and the hairs is not becoming sadhu. Sadhu is developing the ninth type of mind, which is the ninth level of mind, which enables you to enter into the next level of bodhisattvahood, which is ninth, is called sadhumati. You become sadhu, and from there we enter into dharmameg, is called enlightenment. It's called supreme enlightenment. This is the roadmap. Now I'll give you a recap. The beginning is the concentration, samahit chitta. Concentration. We will work on developing the concentration, samahit chitta. Second is parishuddha chitta. Concentration mind, concentrate mind, or concentration purifies the mind. When your mind is purified, third type of mind is automatically born, and that is called pariyudat chitta. When we develop pariyudat chitta, fourth chitta automatically takes place. It's called anangan chitta. When we cultivate, develop, and bring it to maturity, anangan chitta, the fifth chitta automatically is born, is called bigat upklesh chitta. When we develop and maintain the bigat upklesh chitta, means free from the subtle defilements, then the sixth quality of mind automatically takes place. That is called mrudu bhut chitta, means soft, gentle, malleable chitta, mind. And when the sixth grade of mind is developed, seventh automatically comes in picture on the surface. And when you see the seventh level of your mind, you become so happy. That is called kamaniya chitta, workable, functional mind, which functions in all the situations. Kamaniya chitta is the seventh. When you give the rise of seventh chitta or eighth chitta automatically comes in picture on the surface, on conscious plane from subconscious mind. And eighth chitta is called thiti chitta. Thiti means still. There is a glimpse of vajra, immovable, imperturbable. And the ninth chitta automatically comes. That is called ananja prapta chitta. When you have ananja prapta chitta, then all the supernatural powers automatically come to you, greet you, welcome you with warm heart, with open arms. They remain at your disposal. They remain at your service. All the supernatural powers serve you, and you realize the complete freedom from all the limitations. You become unlimited. And then you enter into sadhumati, from sadhumati to buddhahood, supreme enlightenment, what is called yoga, to become a yogi, to become an enlightened one. And there you realize that there is light in your mind which is more than millions of suns. And that is not the light of others. That is your light. That is not light of any celestial being, other celestial being. That is your own light, which we cultivate through the process, through hard works, smart works, constantly, consistently, persistently. I wish may everyone have this ultimate consciousness, which is called fully enlightened mind. Excellent. Now we'll finish this session with the same proclamation. with the same affirmation through the mantra. This is a reminder. We'll chant together. Inhale. Om. Asuto ma sadgamaya tamso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kashit dukh bhag bhave. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Rub your both palms together. Ganate the heat. Spread your both palms over your face, over your crown, back of the head, your neck, your throat, your chest, your belly, entire belly to the bottom. Now take your both palms in your upper back and sliding down to the middle back, lower back, buttocks, thighs, knees, calf muscles. Bring your both palms together in Namaste Mudra. Bow down to your coach, guide, guru who is guiding you on this path, and bow down to all his gurus. Bow down to this amazing science, amazing knowledge. And open your eyes and feel relaxed and happy with the same joy of light of the mind. So that was the meditation, and there we work on the chitta, on the mind, because yoga says yoga chitta vritti nirodha. This is definition of yoga by Patanjali. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha means yoga is nirodh of chitta. Nirodh of chitta vritti. Vritti means the functions of chitta. When your mind reaches to the ninth stage of meditation, this is called nirodh samapatti. That is the ultimate state. But yeah, that is the goal where we have to reach, but step by step. We have to see whether we have reached or not. And we have not reached, then honestly we have to see, and then we have to move further in the guidance, by the guidance of our coach, our master who train us into that. So firstly we have to believe in this process. Secondly, then we have to believe in the coach, in the guide, and then we will realize that. Practice. First is faith and then practice. Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Saab, for joining today also. How was your practice? How was your experience today?
On and on and on, more the merrier.
Mm.
So we need to have more of it and more often.
Yeah, yeah. You see how mind is moved, how mind is blown, mind blowing. Something blows the mind, but nothing should blow your
Mm.
mind. And you say, wow, that blows, mind blowing. No, no, nothing should be mind blowing. So long you say mind blowing means, yeah, you are ruled by something. Your mind is ruled by something. Nothing should blow your mind, like the mountain mind. Good. Janaswar ji, how is your experience today? कैसा लगा आज?
Namaste, Gurji. Thank you
Namaste.
so much for today's session.
Welcome.
In few words, Shu Shambho.
Good, good. Yeah.
So much blessings from your side today I received. Thank you so much, Guruji.
Welcome, welcome. That is just whatever I transmit is just guidance. And whatever you realize is your practice, your efforts. In all the realization, what is the driving factor, what is the factor is your efforts, smart efforts, intelligent efforts, And yeah, we just transmit the guidance. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste.
Yes. Thank you.